Hello and welcome. My name's Wilson. I'm one part of Twin Soul Journey. Today I'm going to talk about the importance of discernment with ET disclosure. Now, I haven't scripted this. I haven't planned it out. I'm just feeling it. I'm just feeling the energy of it strongly in my being is something that I need to talk about. And so I'm going to allow that process, and I'm trusting my being, and my greater being, my soul, to allow me to say what I need to say without having to think ahead what it is I need to say, if that makes sense. So, the importance of discernment with ET disclosure. Now this is really important to me, discernment, because we're in April 2025. Here and on the earth plane and the majesty that is earth, and there's a lot going on when it comes to ET disclosure, UFO disclosure, different labels, NHI, non-human intelligence disclosures, UAPs, sort of politicized sort of term, unidentified aerial phenomenon, disclosures, all these things are going on, and because humanity, we are waking up because we have been asleep. We've literally been like asleep at the wheel of life. We've been asleep, and we are waking up. We're waking up, and we're like, wow, whoa, we're actually moving. Whoa, it's like, whoa, what's happening here? We're waking up, and it's like, yeah, we have to actually take the wheel. We've got to take the wheel, and actually start driving this. And we're waking up to more of who we are. More of our multidimensional nature, more of our heart and soul awareness, because the mind is a gift for the being. The mind, the heart and soul are the guides. They're what's running the show. Me is where I'm coming from. In my mind is a wonderful tool to help me run the show of my own life. So it's just to say where I'm coming from in this conversation first is, so I'm coming from a deep love. I'm coming from a deep love for my mother planet. And I'm coming from a deep love to her relationship with the solar system, with the sun, with the system that we are in. And I'm coming from my relationship as this human vessel, my humanity, and I'm coming from my sense of responsibility and duty of care to share, to begin to share what I feel, what I know about these topics. That's where I'm actually coming from. I'm coming from a sense of responsibility for for these things. It's from love. It is from the love of my being. And this has not been easy to talk about because it's meant coming to terms with so many different things, so many out-of-the-box things, so many alternative things. It has meant that, and being able to accept that and get through my own programming, conditioning, wounding, my own feelings of like enslavement to being small, to being this small version of myself. So I'm willing to open up more about my feelings and knowings about all this. So the importance of discernment with ET disclosure. Now, as fantastic and as exciting as it is to be in a time in a time that we're in just now where ET disclosure is prevalent. It's in the world. It's in the mainstream. It's happening. It's been dripping and dripping for absolutely decades. Dripping, and now we're at a time. We're at a point where we're at a crucible, getting to a center point of a crucible where disclosure, open disclosure, just has to happen. It just has to happen for the evolutionary process for us as a peoples here and for all the peoples involved. It just has to happen. As we evolve and become more multidimensional, which means we become awake and aware to different dimensions that we're already participating in, we're already in conversation with, or in communion with, in co-creation with. We become aware of much more of what we're actually involved in than the sort of mainstream limitations that have been in place, trying to keep us small, telling us that we're, these straw man identities and these careers and all these survival and very, very controlled version of events. We're breaking out of that. We're breaking out of it energetically. We're breaking out of it because evolution with the planet and with place, with this reality is on and it's happening, and we are moving through this, and that's just what's going on. The sun is beginning to shine. Daybreak is happening. The birthing is happening. The baby is about to be born. And this will still take years. You get very excited thinking, oh yeah, the baby's going to be born then, in a few minutes, in a few hours. It's and yes, the baby's being born, but we're talking about reality, and we're talking about entire peoples, and we're talking about planets and worlds, and we're talking about a big scale. So it's still going to be good few years of this birthing process before we're actually born, which is going to be lots and lots of awakening and growth and evolution of awareness. So I guess, my main point here is becoming aware of our multidimensional nature. I can share that I have been becoming more aware, consciously aware of my multidimensional nature through personal work, through working on myself, through alchemizing and transforming and integrating my wounds, so facing my pain, feeling my pains, and addressing that, and transforming and healing my being, and bringing my what has been fractured, fragmented self, and parts of me still is, bringing these pieces all the time back together, back into a unified expression of me, back into me, back into unity. The universe has been in an enormous out-breath, is a term that gets used, but it's good. An enormous out-breath, which has meant an enormous separation of things. Separation of itself into, I don't know if it's infinite, but an inconceivable amount of separations of itself, breathing out, for a tremendous amount of time. And then we're now at the point where we've begun to breathe back in. The universe is breathing back in. And what that is, the universe breathing back in, is breathing back in all its separation, all its fragmented, fractured parts, breathing them back into a unity, into a wholeness, into what it already is. But because it's separated itself out, for the purpose of knowing itself and evolution, and experience of its being, it's now coming back. It's bringing all those separated parts, all those fragmented, fractured parts, all those separations, all those realities, all those worlds, all those things, all coming back now. Home, into wholeness and unity. That's happening on a universal scale. And it's also happening in us. It's happening in our beings. That's why the world sort of looks the way it does at the moment. It's all falling into chaos. It's all, seems like it's just, it's all cracking open. It's going mad. It's going mad. And it's because it has to crack open. It's cracking open because the reality is deconstructing. It's coming apart because we're actually growing and evolving. So it's coming apart so it can all come back together again in a much greater wholeness. Our job is to face ourselves and to face what's happening in our environment, in our world, and to face what that means for us, and to integrate that energy, that all that wisdom, integrate that into our being and become whole. That's the goal of the soul. That's the goal of my soul. It is to cultivate the wisdom of all of this experience and to bring it home. For me, doing that, that's the meaning of life. That's the purpose of my soul, is to bring all of this experience, bringing it home into wholeness and unity, integrating it, boom, into wholeness. So where does the ET, disclosure and discernment bit, come into this? As the reality is cracking open and we're expanding, awareness is getting bigger, multidimensional reality has to come into play even in the mainstream, as well as everywhere else. There's beings all over the world that have been living multidimensionally for a long time, or but when it comes to mainstream, it's different, because this is about a collective. This is about humanity waking up as a whole. This is an effort. This is a really massive effort for humanity to waken up to who it is, what it is, where it is, what's going on, why we're here, what is the meaning of life, and remembering it. And there's many beings that came before us, laying a path, of light towards to this point, this of integrated light, laying a path of light, and so the collective, so we can have the opportunity to grow and evolve. And as we're doing that, we get knocks on the door, knock on the door, and you begin to experience extraterrestrial life, interdimensional life, multidimensional, greater, or I'll use the word greater, not that it's, you know what I mean, like greater dimensional, multidimensional life. Greater, that's not a good term, because it's not, that implies, something's great and something isn't great. Just greater as in maybe deeper or more of. Deeper, more of. Not like better. That's not what I'm really saying. Because this is where the discernment comes in. As we become aware of more and more species, extraterrestrial species, interdimensional, subterranean, inner earth, different dimensional, creational energies, creational beings, as we become aware of all of this, we have to use our discernment. We've got to use our discernment, and it's the same way that you would discern when you meet somebody in the world, wherever you are, in the street, in a shop, at your work, wherever it is. When you meet somebody that you haven't met before, you use discernment. You use discernment, and you gauge the relationship. You gauge all these different parameters. You just naturally gauge your body, and you'll naturally engage that. Is it safe? Is it a safe relationship? And then other parts of your being, it's like, okay, and your emotions, your heart, it's like, well, what's the purpose of this relationship? Is it going to be something beneficial for our shared evolutionary journey? Is it beneficial? And then the mind might have some ideas of, is this relationship worthwhile, for a number of different reasons. And for me, when it comes to sort of relationships and discernment, it's my heart, soul and spirit always comes first. My heart, soul, my spirit determines, the relationship, and then my emotions then tell me, what I'm feeling, what it means, and my mind then computes all of that information, all of that data, and then and I make sense of it. But I'm discerning the relationship. I'm discerning, is it a benevolent experience I'm having with this other, or is this a malevolent experience? Is it nourishing? Is this a nourishing interaction that I'm having with this being, this person I've just met? Is this beneficial for me? Is this do I feel like they're dominating me? Do I feel like this being is dominating me? Do I feel like I'm able to express myself honestly with this person, this being? Do I feel like that this being, whoever it is, is willing to listen to me? Or is it more about them, and a monologue of theirs, lots of theirs, but they're not able to hear me. All these different parameters to think about and to discern when we meet people, and choosing whether we want to engage in a relationship, in, whatever, social relationship, all types of relationships, work relationship. We go through all these parameters, and we do this with anything. If we're going to go in co-creation with anything, even food, it's like we feel the relationship. It's like there's a relationship as to what, like I'm looking at a bowl of fruit over there. What type of bananas am I going to buy? Which type of bananas? Which relationship am I going to have? Which co-creation is it? Which one is resonating with me? How am I making my choices? Am I buying these bananas because they're cheap? They don't cost much, so I feel like I'm getting a good deal or something like this. Am I buying these bananas because I like where they come from? I'm enjoying where they've come from, the country they've come from. I like the brand, the company that is distributing them and getting them to me. I like that. Am I buying them because they're organic? This is why we've bought these bananas. Bought them because am I buying them because they're organic, and because I've tested the relationship with other types of bananas, and I've proven to myself that the organic is actually more nourishing. It's more beneficial for my being. There's more. The co-creative relationship is stronger. It's a more beneficial relationship. So all these parameters as to why you would choose to go into a relationship with something, and it depends on your own individual makeup and your own processes of how you make choices. Because like for me, I do my best, but I still make some choices and it coming from wounding. And when I make a choice when it's coming from wounding, it tends to be coming from lack. And it tends to be like I'm making a choice that might help me in the short term, but in the long term, I don't feel nourished by it. I feel like, I've filled up an empty space inside of me rather than engage in like a nourishing relationship. That might be like, say, even just consuming media, entertainment or something like this. It's like, I watched whatever, hours of this, whatever it was, this program or TV series or something like this, and it was okay at the time, but then afterwards I felt awful. It's like, well, why do I feel awful? It's like, well, it's because I just allowed myself to consume far too much of that, and I was really feeding a wound that was happy to kind of like sit there and not be alchemized. And then afterwards realising, I feel horrible, and then going into feeling why I'm feeling horrible, and realising that there's a wound there speaking, and then going into the wound, feeling it and listening to what it has to say, and then holding space and being in a loving space with it, a conscious loving space, and integrating the wisdom of that. So there's a lot to discernment, because you need to discern your own state of being, and you also need to discern the other's state of being. So whatever that is, media, fruit, bananas, but another person you're meeting, you need to discern yourself, you need to discern them, you also need to discern the environment that you're in, how it might be affecting you. A lot of discernment is important, and it's the same when it comes to multidimensional life. Different realities, different beings from different places. We have to have our discernment in place. So when we do come face to face, heart to heart, spirit to spirit, soul to soul with other beings, we're able to discern the relationship. Because the cosmos, the cosmic environment, the cosmic domain that we are in, is huge. This is a massive, massive space that we live in. We're in the sun system here, solar system. We're in one galaxy. We're in the Milky Way galaxy. Wonderful, amazing place to be, truly. And constantly awakening and becoming more consciously aware of what that actually is, why we're here, and what it means. There's one galaxy out of countless galaxies, and this is one solar system in that galaxy. It's a very particular solar system, of course, but we're talking countless worlds. The universe is enormous, and so to think that we're all alone is completely insane. It's just absolute insanity. It's complete insanity. It couldn't be any further from the truth. And how could that not be the case? The issue traditionally has been, that I've noticed with the mainstream, is there's this version of always try to look for life that is exactly like us. So if it doesn't function like us and doesn't have a body like us and it isn't made up like us, then it's not life. So there's lots of different types of life. There's lots of different types of realms and dimensions where beings exist. So it's about expanding all of this, expanding the whole picture, and it's happening collectively. It has to happen. It's happening individually, it's happening collectively, it's happening globally. And there's a lot to this. There's a lot to this birthing process, this awakening, remembering process for humanity, for Earth, Mother Earth, Father, Son, everybody involved. There's a lot to this birthing. So mother, father, child. Mother Earth, Father, Son. Humanity is the child. We're the child that is being born. Okay, and then there's all these other relationships that are also there in the middle of all of this, that we are all working through, so we can remember who we are as aspects, as fractals and aspects of the universe. Remember the wholeness, the unity of the universe. And to do that, we have had to go and explore we've had to go and explore all these different dimensions of existence, on all these different timelines, all these different places, all these different types of being, all these different worlds with different functionalities, different parameters, different intentions for their purpose. We've had to go and experience all of this, and it's the out breath, and now we have to bring it all home, bring it all back home. And so, my message here is key. It's about discernment. I've come to learn that basically, there is natural life. There is nature everywhere in the universe. It's a tangible energy. It's nature. And there is distortion. There is separation, distortion. And in my journey, I have been coming to learn, and I've been experiencing directly, which is giving me the opportunity to learn how to discern these different energies, because I've experienced beings and dimensions of time and space that are very distorted and very challenging to deal with, and it's all about domination and control. And I've experienced these distorted realms, dimensions, and peoples, different entities and beings, obviously in these realms. These are worlds, and there are representatives of worlds here in our world, in our solar system, in our galaxy, representing. There are representatives from lots of other places here, and I've lost my train of feeling there. Yeah, representatives and discernment, and me having experience with distorted beings. And the only reason I'm able to discern distorted beings outside of myself is because I've come to learn to be able to discern that same distortions inside of myself. When I've met some of these beings interdimensionally, energetically, I've been familiar with their energetic signature. It's familiar because in my universal journey, I know it. I've got this memory of that energy, which has helped me be able to discern, have my own discernment process of basically what is natural. So to me, what's natural is what's whole, what is willing to come home to wholeness, integration and unity. That's what natural is to me. So nature, the universe is nature, just like Mother Earth here is nature. Her deeper being, her heart, soul, essence, the core of her, which people call Sophia. I'm still feeling deeper and deeper into that word, so I can really feel it when I say it. But Mother Earth, Sophia, her deeper dimensions are nature. This is all nature to me, and it's wholeness. The sun, Father, Son. In the light, in the depth of the light of the sun, in those dimensions inside the sun, is nature to me. Is wholeness. It's about integration and completion and wholeness. That's what it is to me, and this is where I get my discernment process, because I have met in my journey beings that are of a distorted light flavor, and it's different. It feels different. It's almost like a piercing love. It's love, and it has conditions. It's love with conditions it's like a sort of overlord kind of thing. It's quite dictatorial, but uses a light. So I'll go into this another time, and I can actually feel the energy a lot stronger about with actually go into the details of that. But basically, experienced false light, so distorted light environments, which is empire. It's the false light is an entire empire unto itself, multiple empires collaborating together, and it's hierarchical. This is how I would explain it actually. It's hierarchical. There's always like somebody else with more power, and it goes higher up and higher up, and it's hierarchical. That's when I know it's distorted. It's got this piercing, conditional love, and it's hierarchical. There's always like somebody's more special than somebody else. It's always about somebody's more special, more glamorous, more shiny, more brilliant, more has more luminosity. than others, and it's about clamouring to become like the greatest version of that light, that distorted light. But it's got a different, it feels totally different from natural light. Natural light is integration and wholeness. It's like it's solid and it's tangible, and it's the coming together of opposites to create whole. This distorted light is in the realm of opposites. It's like the realm of opposites, but it tries to convince itself and others that it is whole, and that everything and everybody should go into it, be absorbed into it, because it's got the whole picture, and it's like basically it is a servant to God. It's a servant to God. And for me, God and nature are two different things. So God, the realm of gods, for me, is all about superiority and control and domination and empires and enslavement and all this stuff. Whereas nature is not about that at all. Nature is about remembering who we are and being held to be able to do that. And it's about the coming together of opposites into wholeness. Nature is a beautiful thing, and that's what we're doing here in this earth plane. Our job here as fractals, as these incarnations, pardon me, is to bring all of this back together, bring all this home back into unity. That's our job as nature. So yeah, so discernment. trying to be clear here. This is the first time I believe I've really spoke about this in this way that I'm doing just now. So bear with me as we do this. So yeah, discernment, the importance of discernment with ET disclosure, because there will be empires and the representatives of empires unveiled to the people, to the masses, to mainstream society. This will happen. It'll be like a contact experiences, open a dialogue with other worlds, other empires, and we have got to learn how to discern what's what. So when somebody comes along and they might have all these good intentions and all these great solutions, supposed solutions for all of our problems that are happening here, we need to be able to discern, and we need to be able to critically think and have the emotional intelligence and the conscious awareness to discern if it's a good idea to go into a relationship with whoever these beings are, these representatives are. Is it actually beneficial? And does it have equality in it? Is this equals, or is this beings that have a superiority complex? Have they come to try and, the quotes, I've never done that in my life, save us? Are they coming to try and save us? Which means we're a victim and we need saved by some other superiorly advanced race. Are they equals? Are they talking to us as equals, as friends? Are they respecting us, truthfully respecting us? Or are they trying to steer us in a certain direction, to steer us away? One of the things I'm actually concerned. I am concerned that there are beings and empires that have the intention to steer us away from our mother planet, to take us off planet. I do have a concern about that in the times to come, the years ahead. I do feel that there's this intention coming from distortion, coming from empire, that wants to take humanity off planet. And I'm I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to stay here. I'm staying right here with my mother planet, because I know that we're being born with her. This is an awakening and remembrance process. Reality is cracking, crumbling, changing, falling apart, and it's emerging, blossoming, which means radical change. So yes, we probably will see earth shifts, earth changes, the earth doing all sorts of stuff, because it's being born. If you think about the waters breaking for a child to be born, and you think about all the labour pains and everything, we're doing that on a planetary scale. So it's not just going to stay the same and we'll suddenly be born. It's like there's a birthing process, and then when we are born, how different is it from being inside the womb as a fetus inside your mother's womb to being outside in the world? It's a different experience. So we will be having this as a peoples. That's what's going on. And so anyway, I'm staying right here regardless of what happens, because I'm in trust. I'm in trust with my mother planet, and I'm in trust with Father Son. Father Son to me is the light. You don't need to look any further for a being that is prominent, that is present, and that is all giving all the time of light, non-stop providing life for its entire system all the time, constantly. It's the sun. And yeah, such a distinct difference between natural light and distorted light. Distorted light to me is the realm of God and empires, and natural light is nature, it's wholeness. So what else do I want to say here? Okay, and also, just the importance of discernment, working on your own stuff, so you're able to have greater discernment as we move forward. Yeah, and the realization that there are empires in our environment, and they come in different flavours. So, at the moment in the mainstream world, we have got a distorted, dark empire prevalent in our world just now, and it's this dark force that is all. I feel horrible because I can feel it. It's all about enslavement of humanity in this dark way, dominating, overt way of and it's just this never-ending war and misery and suffering, and always containing humanity's sovereignty, and always try to force them into some sort of war of opposites or other. That thing going on, it gets termed and coined the New World Order, the Cabal, these terms. This is what we're dealing with at the moment. Yeah, absolutely, that's real. That is definitely going on, and yet that's also multidimensional. And it's in the distorted dark side of things, empire. Okay? There is a distorted dark side of things, and there is a distorted light side of things. They are both distorted, they are both of the same distortion, just different flavours of the same thing. I'm using my hands, dark flavour, light flavour, black, white, whatever, yin, yang, they are the same thing, just different flavour and quality, And yeah, there is the fall of the Cabal is happening. That is happening big time. Pardon me again. That is happening absolutely. And as it falls, as this darkness falls, the emergence of this other empire is coming and will be coming more and more into the fore. And that is this false light, distorted light empire. And it's an empire that comes with solutions. It's an empire that comes with solutions for all the problems that the Dark Empire caused. So to bear that in mind, there's an empire coming to be in the mainstream with solutions for all of the problems that the Dark Empire caused. That's going on in our world. We see it in politics on the ground level, right? But politics reaches way beyond. So you've got the geopolitical politics that are happening here on the ground here. You have exopolitics, which is happening in the exospace. Okay, so that is solar system, reaching into the cosmos, and all the politics of all the different species, empires, how that is all relating to each other. And then you have cosmopolitics, which is the politics of the gods, the politics of like all these, well, they would say supreme beings, I would say, how, their functionality. I basically see it as mafia on every level. I see it as whether it's geopolitical mafia, exopolitical mafia, or cosmic mafia. I don't see any of that politics, any of it, having the intention of nourishment, wholeness, integration of nature. I see it all as politics, regardless of the level it's at. And it's up to us as a people to remember, to bring back all of our dismembered, fractured, fragmented parts, to remember them, come back into a wholeness. That's what we're actually up to. We are being born as awake and aware, universal light beings. Light as in natural light. Natural light contains darkness. Okay, and light. It's integrated. It's integrated. There are no opposites, if you like. It's integrated, universal. The universe holds everything in balance. The universe is its entirety all at once. It doesn't have preferences. Well, I like this bit better. I like that bit better. Everything's equal. It's held in wholeness, and that's what our job is. Our job is to be embodiments, fractal embodiments of that wholeness, and we do that by remembering our journey, remembering our parts, and bringing them all together. And very important as we go through this ET disclosure experience in our world, that we are consciously aware that that's what we're doing. We're remembering ourselves. And so we can actually use our discernment when it comes to different beings. And you can tell in your heart and soul where a being is coming from. Like, if you if you are in relationship with another being, a being from a different dimension, whatever that type of being that might be, how does it feel in your heart and soul? I'm in direct relationship with the beings that I resonate with deeply, because I can feel that they're in nature. They're in and on the integrated path of things. They're here for wholeness, and I resonate with that, and I work with them consciously, and I class them. Well, I don't just class them; they just are, as star family from the stars. I'm star family to them, and they're star family to me, and I'm here in this time space, in this realm here. I'm on the ground. I'm incarnated here doing the work, but I'm also in co-creation with my star family, and we work together on a soul level, to actually help me here remember who I am, and and actually help the evolutionary process. Because everybody who is in the process of remembering who they are, remembering becoming whole and integrating their being, is helping the evolutionary unfoldment process, the birthing process. Everybody who's doing that is doing that. And there's a massive effort to help that happen, because this is a really important thing. This is a really important moment and thing for the universe. And so I use my discernment. I've come to learn who's family and who isn't. And it's pretty clear, because when other energies and other interdimensional beings turn up coming from a distorted place, you can tell pretty quickly who's who. It's like, whoa, it can be very jarring. It's like, it doesn't matter what they're trying to tell you. It's like having somebody knock at the door, and it's like somebody religious trying to convert you to their religion or something. Knock on the door. You know, I'm whatever their name is from this religion, and they're trying to tell you about. They're trying to convert you on the very doorstep of your home. You know, and it's just like very jarring. You know, and they're basically constantly asking for your consent to then go deeper into the conversation with whatever it is they're trying to sell you. And in this example, it would be religion. Same again, you get knocked on the door. It can be a political activist or a politician or a politician's representative, and they always want your energy. They want your consent and your energy and your co-creation. They want your investment of energy to help enhance their cause. This is what it's always the same, whether it's religion or politics. They knock on your door, or, you know, arrive in your life, and they always want an investment of time and energy from you so it will benefit their cause, which they will then tell you their cause will then benefit you. It's like it's a really weird thing, and it's totally different from just naturally knowing like your own being, you know, and feeling your own family, your own natural family, and your own purpose for being, your own purpose for existing here, and just having that deep knowing without having to be convinced. There's no convincing needed. The people that knock on the door with campaigns, religious, political, whatever it is, a business trying to sell you something, it comes with a campaign. And you've got to be convinced of the campaign. You've got to be sold it. You've got to be sold it. I don't want to be sold. I want to be my soul. My soul. And my star family, my family, they're not selling me anything. I'm just being with my natural self and my natural family. Totally different from a sort of campaign and trying to be sold something. So, I don't know if this helps. I don't know. I hope it helps. I hope this helps. This is my first go at talking about discernment, the importance of discernment with ET disclosure, because it is happening and you will see it more and more. It'll go from lights in the sky, orbs and UFO sightings all over the world, like on a massive scale all the time. That's what's happening already. It'll go from that to governments across the world openly sharing about advanced technologies. So whatever that might be, the time-space manipulation or just or anti-gravity or free energy, which I have a deep love about that. But anyway, it'll go from these things, the mainstream governments talking about advanced or exotic or technologies, because there's been all this reverse engineering going on for decades with extraterrestrial technologies from different worlds, here in this world, and us, certain groups of us, reverse engineering, try to figure out how these things work, as well as extraterrestrial beings being in conscious contact with groups of people and sharing technology, and doing these contracts. All that has already been going on, but it'll go from that. So orbs, UFOs, mass sightings, which is already happening, to technologies, advanced technologies, suppressed technologies beginning to emerge in the world. That is going on. That has begun, and there's a big push for that at the moment. And and that's this battle, this deep state, dark cabal, and this. For me, I see it as kind of a utopian new world order. Sort of at heads with each other, and one has got all the problems. It's like one's got all the problems, which is all the suppression and holding everything back, and one has got all the solutions, which is all the new technologies and the change of infrastructure on a global scale, and the opening up of a galactic movement. I can't get the words there, but anyway, we'll go into that more another time. It's going to go from that lights in the sky, UFOs, mass scale, to the mainstream unfoldment of new technologies, new awareness and understanding, to at some point, I don't think in the not a hugely distant future, to open contact publicly with extraterrestrial life. It just has to happen. We already are galactic beings. we're human beings. We're earthlings. We're also sun beings, sunlings, because we're in the solar system. We're in the galaxy. We already are galactic beings. We're in the cosmos. We already are cosmic beings. We're in the universe. We already are universal beings, and we already are these things. It's just up to us to remember. Our job is to not give our power away to somebody else. So that's our job. Don't give our power away just because somebody comes along and is trying to present themselves as more special than yourself. It's not true. In the universe, the natural universe is about equality. It's about equality. The natural universe doesn't turn up and say, I'm more special and better than you because I've got this X, Y, and Z. That's not what nature does. Nature's about equality and respect and wholeness. Okay, so I'll leave it there for now. Thank you for listening to what I have to say there about discernment. I hope that helps, and I will look forward to seeing you again soon. Okay, cheers and bye for now. Thank you. Bye.